Hello, welcome to Nana's Journey, and today we are going to do Skill Builder number 7. This is a beginner-friendly block. We've just got half square triangles, a 4-patch, and then what's called an economy block that is a square in a square in a square in a square. Sometimes it's just 3 squares. I think there's other names for it too, but I don't know what they are. And this will be an 8-inch finished block. So this unit right here will be 4 inches, and then these finish at 2. So this is my pattern. This is how I do things. I drop my design on my Electric Quilt 8 software, and then I write down what I need to cut. For the center square, I use my squared ruler, and that's the wrong end. I just put my material there and trim. It comes to a 1 7/8 inch square, but I find it's just easier to use that. The gray here is a 2 1/4 inch square cut diagonally once. You need 2 of those squares. Then you need 2 3 1/4 inch squares cut diagonally once, and 2 white 4 1/4 inch squares cut diagonally once. For the 4-patch unit, you're going to need I did these in strips, and then I subcut them into 8 pieces. You need 1 floral, 1 pink, and 2 white strips, and they are 1 1/2 by 12 1/2 inch. And then you'll have 2 pairs. This will be 1 pair, and this will be another pair. For the half square triangles, you'll need 2 white 3-inch squares and 2 green 3-inch squares. And then you'll mark the white one. I use a half square inch ruler. I put the line from corner to corner and draw on each side. You can also just draw from corner to corner and sew on each side. So I've got all my pieces cut out. So let's get to the sewing machine. Okay, I'm going to start with the strips. These are for the 4-patch. You're just going to line those up, right sides together. And sew your 1/4 inch seam. Okay, I'm also just going to grab my half square triangles. This one block will give me 2 half square triangles. Okay, I'm going to cut these apart. Oh, no, I'm going to separate them from the strips. The strips need to be pressed open and then subcut. These we need to do the other side. I almost forgot. Okay, now these will be cut down between the seams and pressed open, and then I'll be right back. Okay, now I'm going to take my center square and 2 of my triangles, and I'm going to put them not face down, right sides together, and I'm going to make you can either mark the center of the squares. I just kind of eyeball whether it's even. Okay, let me press that open, and then we will put on the other side. Okay, now we will just repeat what we had just done. The reason you want to do the opposite sides first is because the next sides will lap over onto these. Okay, let me get this pressed, and then I'll meet you at the table where we're going to do some trimming. Okay, I've got both strip sets pressed open, and I've put them right sides together and nested them. And now I am going to turn them into 1-inch strips. First I need to square off the end. Not 1 inch, 1.5 inch. Okay. And we need 8. Okay, now they're already nested together. I can just sew one side and I will have my 4 patch. And then as you can see, I'll need to trim down the 4 patch. For the half square triangles, these are supposed to finish at 2 inch, I think. No, 2.5 inch, sorry. 2.5 inch unfinished. So you just get your ruler and you make sure the 45-degree line in your ruler goes through your seam, and then you trim it at 2.5 inches. And for the square and a square, I did basically a 2-inch patch. It was 1 7/8, but I put my X's or crosshairs in on the points, and then when I trim it, it will leave that 1/4 inch seam on each point, and those seam allowances are very important so that you can keep your points. And this is how I will also trim the pink and the white squares, only it will go to the 3 and the 4 inch marks instead of the 2, but I won't show you the other 2. So let me finish trimming these, and then we'll get back to the square and a squared unit. Okay, now I'm going to take this square unit and do the exact same thing I did before. It's the same process. Now when you get to here, there's a seam that goes here, and you want to go across the intersection so that you have nice points. Press that back. Whoops, right sides together. Now I'm going to press those and do the same thing. Okay, now I'm going to trim this and put the white one on the exact same process. Okay, here is the economy block all finished. I had the pink and the white squares too large. The measurements were too large. The pink is 2 3/4 inch squares, and the white is 3 1/4 inch squares. And then you'll cut them out diagonally. So those are the measurements that I used. I remade this. So now we're going to take our strips, make sure they're nested, and we'll get to work on our 4-patch. Okay, now I just need to press these open and trim them down, and then we can put the block together. And I'm just going to trim them into 2.5-inch squares. Okay, I divided the 4 patches to where there's a pink in the lower left and a pink in the upper left, and I'm going to put them together, nest those seams, and sew. Press these open, and then we can put our rows together. Okay, now we've got our center and our 4 patches. You'll end up with 2 white next to it. I did have one that I didn't match up right, and I fixed it. 2 white and 2 white. This would be best done with a small print, and then you could see the circle that it makes. And I like it so that the green is going this way. You can also make it so the green is at the top to make it more of a circle, but I'd rather not have the circle part. So, put the left to the middle and sew. I mean the right to the middle. Now add the left side. Then we'll press that open and put the rows together. Okay, now I'm just going to pin this together and sew the rows together. And there we have it, the finished product. Thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you next time on Nana's Journey.